Hello everyone, it's me Uncle John at 6059 Butterfly Battle, Chapter 8. We settled on some flowers in the park, but we weren't taking any more chances with insecticide. So we didn't feed. As we rested up from our windy adventure, a group of noisy kids came running into the park. At first we didn't worry about them. After all, they were just kids like us. Only they weren't just like us because we were butterflies. What are they carrying? Some kind of net? Maybe they're going fishing. I don't see any lake or pond around here, said Keisha. And they don't have fishing poles. I think they're butterfly net. That's when we noticed that the kids were carrying jars too. They were the size of the mayonnaise jar, just big enough to hold a butterfly. Oh no, not another adventure. We stayed very still with our wings folded, hoping the kids wouldn't notice us. They had quieted down now and were tiptoeing around the park, hoping to sneak up on some helpless butterflies like us. We could hear some of them whispering to one another, "They're so pretty. I know. I hope we catch a lot." That freaked Arnold out. He got so scared he started to fly. Then, whoop! A net came down over him and trapped him on the grass. "I got one!" yelled one of the boys. To bet Arnold's old butterfly ice baths weren't going to fool a human the way they fooled the bird. The next moment, Arnold was in a jar with the lid full of holes. "Let's see if we can find some more." Just when it looked like we would lose the butterfly battle for sure, a woman in a uniform rode into the park on a horse. She was a park ranger. "Hi, kids. We're catching butterflies," said. "Sorry, but that's not allowed here. We protect the butterflies in this park so that everyone can enjoy their beauty." As soon as the ranger said that, the boy held up his bar with Arnold in it. "I caught one already," he said, "but I didn't hurt it." "That's good. Thank you for telling me. Why don't you let it go now?" Open the jar. Arnold flew out. "Let's get up here," Arnold said. As soon as he was out of his jar, up, up, and away class, said Miss Frizzle. We flew as fast as we could, and soon we reached Butterfly Land. It was good to be back, but we still had two big problems. Big problem number one, how would we get back inside? Big problem number two, how would we ever get to be kids again? To think that just this morning, the only problem we had was coming up with an idea for our skirt. Chapter 9. Where's Liz? She got us out of the butterfly land. Maybe she can get us back in. We looked around for Liz, but we didn't see her anywhere. But we did see a bus parked outside. The lights were flashing on and off. I think the bus is signaling us. As we got closer to the bus, we saw that the door was open and Liz was at the control. On the floor next to her were our field guides piled up in a neat stack. On top of stack was Miss Frizzle's great-great-grandmother, Matilda's locket. Peter must have put those things here, maybe Liz. It didn't seem possible, but you never know. If only we could open Magic Matilda's locket. It turned us into butterflies. Maybe it could turn us back into kids. How did you open the locket, Miss Frizzle? I don't know, Phoebe. If we all think very hard, I'm sure we'll come up with the answers. Turn on those butterfly brains. All I remember is that Peter was talking about butterfly jewelry, and I mentioned Miss Frizzle's locket. Then Miss Frizzle asked Peter if he wanted to see it, and she lifted it up to show him. Tim remembered, and then it just opened. That gave me an idea. "Wait a minute," I said. "Miss Frizzle said something before the locket opened." I remember because we all laughed. "That's right. Do you remember what you said, Miss Frizzle? Maybe those were the magic words that opened the locket." "I meant to say the word butterfly, but by mistake I said flutterby." As soon as she said it, the locket snapped open, was filled with powder again. This time the powder was green. "I bet the powder will turn us back into kids." We fluttered around the open locket and beat our wings up and down as hard as we could to blow the powder out. It worked. Before we knew it, we were our old selves. A butterfly battle had been exciting, but I have to admit I was glad to be a kid again. Miss Frizzle was back in the driver's seat. Liz pushed some buttons and turned some knobs, and our bus turned back into a butterfly. I was glad it was the bus and not us. We waved goodbye to Butterfly Land, finally headed for home. When we got back to school, Everything was the same except for one very important thing. Now we had plenty of ideas for our skit. We can just act out what happened on our field trip, said Ralphie. No one will believe it, but they will like it anyway, said Tim. Miss Frizzle, can we use a locket for a skit? Freeze smiled, and she handed us some string and some modeling clay. Maybe it would be better if you made a pretend locket for the skit, she said. The end.